Mr. Ed, Silver, Smarty Jones, Seabiscuit, Black Beauty, and Secretariat. Do these names sound familiar to you? Throughout time, horses have occupied many different niches in their relationship with mankind. Over time, they have been ridden, used as pack animals, used to plow fields, transportation, raced, jumped, shown, and even used in movies. In the U.S., the central role of horses in the history of our nation and the development of our economy has earned them a place of respect among animals and society. From the family pet to the world's best athlete on the racetrack, horses have always been an important animal in our everyday lives. But did you ever wonder what happens to a horse that has reached its prime on the racetrack or one put up for auction? Are they turned out in the pasture to live their lives, or are they sent to be slaughtered? Slaughtering horses in the United States for human consumption started in the early 1970s. Americans do not eat horse meat. We actually consider horses to be favored animals, just like dogs and cats. The idea of eating horse meat goes against our very culture. It was foreign interests that built the first equine slaughterhouses in the United States, and by the 1990s there were at least 16 of them operating all across the country. Let's take a brief look through the history of horse slaughter. On November 3, 1998, California voters passed Proposition 6, which banned the slaughter of horses, donkeys, and mules, and sale of horse meat for human consumption. In 2007, the last 3 slaughterhouses in the United States were shut down. One located in Illinois and was shut down when their governor signed House Bill 1711, banning horse slaughter in Illinois. The other 2 were plants were in Texas. One was located in Kaufman and the other in Fort Worth. These plants were closed after federal appeals court ruled that horse slaughter is illegal in Texas. The decision was based on a Texas law passed in 1949 that banned horse slaughter for the purpose of selling the meat for food. This law had not been enforced until the 2007 ruling. So, the disadvantages of horse slaughter. It's basically just animal cruelty. The slaughtering of horse is inhumane. They are electrocuted or speared into the kill box where they shake violently, failing, unable to stand from fear. They were repeatedly bludgeoned with the captive deadbolt gun, which drives a 4-inch rod against their skull, rendering the horse not dead, but unconscious. Alive and many times conscious, the horse is then shackled, hoisted, throat slit, bled, and dismembered. Another issue that we face is that horse meat is not actually part of the American diet. If they are not part of our diet, then why are we slaughtering them? And for the next audience, it would be those of them who are pro-horse slaughter. Mr. Ed, Silver, Smarty Jones, Seabiscuit, Black Beauty, and Secretariat. These iconic names should sound familiar to you. Throughout times, horses have occupied many different niches in their relationship with mankind. Over time, they have been ridden, used as pack animals, used to plow fields, transportation, raced, jumped, shown, and even used in movies. In the U.S., the central role of horses in the history of our nation and the development of our economy has earned them a place of respect among animals in society. From the family pet to the world's best athlete on the racetrack, horses have always been an important animal in our everyday lives. But did you ever wonder what happens to a horse that has reached its prime on the racetrack or one put up for auction? Are they turned out into the pasture to live their lives, or are they sent to be slaughtered? Slaughtering horses in the United States for human consumption started in the early 1970s. Americans don't actually eat horse meat. We actually consider them to be favored animals just like dogs and cats. The idea of eating horse meat goes against our very culture. It was foreign interests that built the first equine slaughterhouse in the United States, and by the 1990s there were at least 16 of them operating all across the country. So, is horse slaughter just like poultry, swine, or beef slaughter? Horse slaughter is actually a very beneficial way of maintaining the horse population and reducing the number of neglected animals. According to a 2009 survey, the problem of unwanted horses is perceived to be growing. This is the best way to get rid of unwanted or older horses. This seems to be consistent with the headlines that have been published all around the country reporting the increase of abandoned horses. This trend has been on a rise since the closing of the last 3 horse slaughter plants in 2007. So, some more advantages of horse slaughter. One aspect is that a horse has a large salvage value, and when a horse is slaughtered, many products and byproducts can be produced. If the horse is slaughtered, yes, the meat will probably go overseas for human consumption. But It can also be used to feed other animals such as dogs. There are a lot of products and byproducts that come from a horse we have all used at some point in our lives. Leather, glue, gelatin, paint, brushes, cosmetics are all byproducts of horses. Also, horse meat is used in zoos as food for large cats such as lions and tigers. Horse meat is high in protein, and with these cats not being in their natural habitat and being dependent on us, we should provide them with essential nutrients. One person once said, I didn't fight my way to the top of the food chain to be a vegetarian.